I'm really not scared about that. The Pistis Sophia you're talking about, that's a whole complex uh, teaching because you have to take that into context. That's post resurrection. That's my apostles. And they're saying that Jesus wasn't actually there in the flesh, but in the spirit speaking to them. And I was there in the flesh. So it's also needing to be understood in Latin, which is where you get wisdom, the Sophia. So it's um, a context where, if you notice, Mary Magdalene is on her face. And every single apostle is surrounding her and asking, questions of what happened. Like, why didn't you? And she's giving excuses over and over again. The lion face power overpowered me. And she's speaking at a level where it's actually understood, but everybody is sitting there like, no, that's not what happened. And I'm sitting there, well said, Mary. Because she's in the heavenly courts. So every single word that she has to say, she's more careful about it. And she's trying to explain, then they stole my power from me. And I'm sitting there and I look at everybody. My mom is there. All of the apostles are there. And, what happened, Mary? Now we're family, but what you did is. And she's crying out at the same time, but she's speaking to her Lord. And I know what I told you to do. I know what you did. So we're taking it like a litigation type of approach where she's on trial and she's got jurors around her because the scripture said we would judge the 12 tribes of Israel. So we're sitting there looking at her, and she is speaking her mind to an extent with some type of reverence, but it's not really communicated too much because I keep saying, what do you think? And then one of my apostles starts speaking, and they're speaking against her, and I'm listening. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So when I get into the frame of mind where I'm talking about aeons, and then I start talking about my consort, whole different responsibility was put on Mary that she could not handle, and she did not actually want that position. So then it became, what do we do with you? So we're all sitting there like we're about to actually be the first time it's ever been written, excommunicate her. And we did. So it was, you pass through these aeons, Barbello, and all this. We're talking in whole different language that had to be understood in Latin before we even were speaking that way. We just knew. and then somebody verbalizes what God knows, then you can imagine how much there was before this, what do you guys call it, the church, the American church. Oh my gosh. And then it was decided that American Christians are just stupid and dumb, that they were like the weak link in this entire chain that went across the entire earth, but they didn't realize it because they're dumb. And then it was, when they lose their eyes to see and ears to hear because they're blind, naked, and wretched, you couldn't really talk to them. They're dead. So we're not thinking about that. We're on a whole different, you know, uh, place of the treasury of light. We're talking about all kinds of things that are just beyond what a average Christian could understand, which is the equivalent of, oh my gosh, there's Paul. Paul is saying this. It doesn't even make sense in the spiritual realm. So the ones that actually understood that basically Paul was an idiot didn't listen to Paul. It's just you guys. So it's like you're staking your life on the words from somebody that God thought was an idiot. So much so that James even said, look, you ignoramus. But you guys just decided that's the truth and what you're going to live by. So it's you and the devil, and you're not getting that because you're not looking at Paul as saying, there's a thorn in my side. God won't take it away. You're not looking at it. Paul had a demon. But you're so smart. So it's the entire thing, because you are so smart, you figured out then. And that's the approach we're taking right now. We're going to let you play for your team, and then I'm actually going to facilitate as referee and call you out. If it's a foul, it's going to be a foul. We're finally going to get a fair match, and I'll give you a red card. I'll give you all kinds of things like this. I'll punish you just so that you understand there are barriers, there are rules to this. And then you'll understand what it's like to play, because you'll never understand the finer points of soccer unless you actually play. And you haven't. So you're more the type that watches the NBA or the NFL. That's you. The rest of the world doesn't even have an interest in that. It's about soccer because of the difficulty and the culture around it. It's really a dream to play in a professional league. And somebody once said, you're a professional once you start getting paid for what you're doing. And I realized I've been doing this for so long, and I've been doing it for free. And that's been training ground. But if you want me to play for you, then you're going to pay me. And I'm not going to pretend to be your notion of what's good and all of that, and what's great and all that, because I don't care. I'm not the Antichrist. I have mouths to feed. I'm not pretentious or arrogant. I have children. I have things I need to pay for them. So what I'm telling these Christians, I've been so good to you, and now you're taking a Judas approach, and I'm just like, okay, well, hang yourself or pay me.